Howdy folks, quick video here about a tidbit that I discovered when I was trying to render a bunch of videos using Kdenlive. So this is my video editor of choice on Linux. This is the version that comes with Ubuntu 20.04, running on Ubuntu 20.04, and I just have a video here that I've got open, and I've got the render dialog here, and I've just got my normal render settings set up. It's set up to use 8 threads and such. And if I begin to render this to a file, of course it's going to start rendering and my camera is going to stop focusing because that's how this works. Sorry about that. And what I'm trying to show is basically the horrendous render speed that you get by default. So this project, by the way, it is an 11-minute video clip. And this system is running a 4790K liquid cooled, of course. And so it shouldn't be all that bad. So right now it's estimating a 25-minute render time. So that's greater than double the video length in render time. And you can see the CPU is loaded, but it's not loaded 100%. We're seeing about 85% CPU utilization. And the render time is actually going up. See, now it's 27 minutes. And I can tell you this is going to take a very long time to render this. And this is just horrendous. It shouldn't be this bad because there's no really advanced stuff happening in this job. So I'm just going to abort it and show you a better way that allow you to get significantly faster renders out of Kdenlive once my camera can focus. So what I do is instead of, in the render dialog, instead of clicking render to file, I click generate script. And I just give it a name and it drops it in a directory called Kdenlive render queue within the video directory that I've specified. So I'll show you that now. So in my videos directory, I have this Kdenlive render queue, and it creates the folder if it doesn't already exist. And you can see I have this file called bakerus.mlt, and mlt is melt, which is the backend that Kdenlive uses to render video. And what you can do is you can actually open this file because it is actually just a regular text file. So I'll just open this up in Vim here, and you can see it's just an XML document. And what you want to look for is right at the beginning of the document, you're going to have this consumer stanza here, and you're going to see, after threads, you're going to see this real-time parameter here. And Kdenlive sets this on my system to -4. And there's no way that I can find in the user interface to change what Kdenlive uses for this value. So what you want to do is you want to change that value. Now if you look at the documentation as to what this actually means, it's the number of threads or number of processes that are used for doing the encode, and you would expect that a larger number of threads will result in better utilization. And the reason it's negative has to do with the fact that when it's negative, there is no frame dropping, and if it's positive, it allows frame dropping. And since we're rendering to a file, we don't want frame dropping, so we want a negative value. So you'd think, well, if I make this -8, that'll match the number of threads my system has, and it will perform better. And actually, it actually performs the opposite. It makes it worse. And what I believe is happening is it has something to do with the way that either the context manager or there's some sort of data that needs to be shared, and the way that files are locked and things like that. I'm not entirely sure the exact reasoning, but the best performance can be achieved by changing this from -4 or whatever it is to -1. So -1 is the best value I've ever gotten. So what I'm just going to do is just save this file here. And now I want to run a render. And the way to do that is really simple. You just run melt and I'm going to run with progress. That's how you can actually see what it's doing, followed by, of course, the file. And that's it. That's all you need. Any errors that you see like this is all just due to the way Kdenlive generated this file. And as far as I know, this is all pretty harmless. But now you can see here, we have a frame and a percentage complete. And you can see that we're actually going through these frames pretty fast. We're already at 5% complete, and it's only been running for a few seconds. And if you look at the CPU usage now, you can see that our CPU usage is much higher than it was previously. In fact, now we're sitting above 90%, 92% right now. So I'm utilizing more of the CPU, and look at that, I'm already 10% done. And remember before, it said this 11-minute video was going to take 27 minutes, and we're actually going what looks to be real-time speed or maybe slightly faster. And so this is definitely the way that you want to be rendering your videos with Kdenlive, if that's what you're using. And I've seen no downside to doing it this way. In fact, it's kind of an upside by being able to just run it from the command line. It means I can be working on other stuff because Kdenlive's not actually managing the render. And if you get all the paths and everything in that file correct, you could even move this file to another system and render on like a render server. That's really what this is designed for. But yeah, as you can see, we're 20% done. So this is significantly faster to do this with significantly higher CPU utilization, even though we are technically reducing the number of threads. And I think it's because there's some contention for memory or some other shared resource that's just not being done well, and it's just the CPU is just wasting time trying to arbitrate that resource. That's my best guess. That's what it looks like. So anyway, hopefully anyone who's using Kdenlive finds this useful, because I sure did. It drastically improved my render time. So until next time, thanks for watching.